Oi oi, alright, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you, and this here is Doodle Review, and it's a channel that's all about every type of music, but if it's got a guitar in it, we're especially keen. In fact, we pretty much review something rock or rock adjacent every other day, so if that's your vibe, subscribe. You'll almost certainly hear me talk about a band you love in an upcoming video, and maybe find something new that you will love. Today we're very much in the kind of rock adjacent category, talking about country star Margo Price and her two-part record released last year, Strays 1 and Strays 2. Margo Price first caught my attention with 2020's That's How Rumours Get Started. On that record, I was struck by her versatility as a vocalist and songwriting that was just on the rock and roll side of country, both in attitude and presentation. Strays doubles down on this rock approach, and this direction announces itself straight away with the opening track of the first volume and my favourite track, Been to the Mountain. This song has a great groove and an incredible bass tone. Actually, the bass in general is amazing. There's a pre-chorus feel here that is so gratifying, it might be my favourite hook on the entire album. Light Me Up has a folk ballad fake out intro, but soon reveals itself to share more in common with 60s psychedelia, with Hendrix-esque wah solos dotted all over the place. The rock genre explorations continue from here, although not all of them are quite as successful. Change of Heart has a kind of blues rock vibe that wouldn't sound out of place on a Black Keys record, but doesn't quite stick the landing in terms of resolving to a satisfying chorus. Time Machine has an almost indie-like upbeat scratchy guitar aesthetic, which I don't really care for, but I am really fond of Price's falsetto, a vocal technique she doesn't often employ, but is really sweet and effective on this track. Radio is the superior of the major key pop songs, but even that kind of subverts expectation with its crisp drum machine backing. The album kind of loses me towards the end, save for Hell in the Heartland, which is a dark slice of Americana with a really cool tempo switch up in the back half. While I don't think all of the genre flirtations here quite come off, or sometimes they come at the expense of the core songwriting, the first Strays record is never a boring listen and continues to showcase Price as a captivating presence in the country genre, so I'm feeling a 6-8 on this one. Now, that first Strays record dropped in January 2023 and appeared to be like a standard album release, but a few months later, I think it was September, October, we got this, Strays 2. And with this record, I just want to give Price some credit for doing something I'm forever imploring artists to do just across the board. Strays 2 has been marketed and released as the literal sequel to Strays, but I think it's clear after just one listen that this 9-track 30-minute collection is of course really just made up from songs that were cut from that original album. It has exactly the same sound, tone and feel as Strays 1, but just not quite as good. But what makes me happy about this release is that instead of doing what so many artists do in this current streaming age, which is either just letting go of any concept of editing or quality control and chucking all of these tracks on the album anyway, or releasing a deluxe edition with 9 additional tracks like at the same time, literally day and date with the standard edition, which is, as far as I'm concerned, just as good as simply adding them to the record. Margo Price and her team have done the smart thing and just released a whole new record. At the end of the day, who cares if it's not as well regarded as the first album? Doing things this way means that Strays 1 gets to remain a succinct, tight and well regarded record, and by releasing Strays 2 you get to have a whole other burst of press and visibility when you release it later down the line. It just seems to me like a bit of a win-win, and I'm really surprised that more artists don't opt to go down this route and instead risk, and often do, kind of dilute their creative vision by oversharing all of their superfluous tracks on one album. I should also clarify at this point that I don't by any stretch dislike Strays 2. There are some tracks included that I really like. Closer I Get has an old school kind of R&B, almost Motown style chorus with those backing vocals which are super catchy. Unoriginal Sin features Mike Campbell, has a great slide guitar and touches on a bit of a Stevie Nicks meets Tom Petty vibe, which I think is really enjoyable. It's just that sandwiched between these cool songs are some that are never bad, just kind of middling. Malibu is a great sounding track, great beat, cool acoustic guitar, hypnotic bass line and even cinematic strings, is really well produced in fact. which is a marker of all tracks across both Strays albums. But in the case of a song like Malibu, the song itself just doesn't go anywhere. Mind Travel is a very standard country blues shuffle, but comes off as a pale imitation of the far better and superior Been to the Mountain, which we just talked about on the last record. And that kind of sums up Strays 2 as a whole. It's a companion piece to a better record. It's great to have it, but it lives in the shadow of its big sister, and that's fine. I'm really glad we got tracks like the dreamy Homesick and the weirdly kind of Bond-like-esque Burn Whatever left. But overall, I think it's about a 5.1. Okay, that's enough for me chatting faff about Strays. I'm keen to hear what you think. What was your favourite Strays album? Am I on the money or not? Let me know in the comments. Show some love, share some thoughts, or just have some abuse. And I assume if you've made it this far, you obviously love my reviews. So don't be coy, don't be shy. Just stop messing about and hit subscribe. We've got so many more reviews coming your way that you're probably going to love. Saturday Special, Sunday Jazz Club. So yeah, I'll see you there. Take care, mate. Bye.